Merci d'être là aujourd'hui. Comme vous le savez, après 9 ans de Justin Trudeau et les libéraux, tout est brisé. Le coût de la vie a augmenté plus rapidement que dans 40 ans. Le coût de nourriture a augmenté 37 % plus rapidement ici au Canada qu'aux États-Unis dans les derniers 4 ans, après l'application des taxes et déficits inflationnistes. Le coût de logement a doublé et a augmenté plus rapidement ici au Canada que dans n'importe quel autre pays du G7. En même temps que le gouvernement libéral envoie des milliards de dollars aux bureaucraties locales qui empêchent la construction, le gouvernement imprime de l'argent qui gonfle l'inflation. Il a brisé le système de l'immigration. Le premier ministre avoue que ces politiques d'immigration ont gonflé le prix de logement à travers le Canada. Et que fait le Bloc? Le Bloc a voté 188 fois pour garder Justin Trudeau au pouvoir. Le Bloc a voté pour 500 milliards de dollars de dépenses inflationnistes, centralisatrices et bureaucratiques. Je parle des dépenses sur la bureaucratie et les consultants directement et non pas les transferts au Québec. Et qu'est-ce que Yves-François Blanchet a reçu? Rien pour les aînés, rien pour les fermiers. Il a regardé les Québécois dans les yeux pour dire que s'il gardait Justin Trudeau au pouvoir, le Bloc allait pouvoir verser des grandes sommes aux aînés et protéger la gestion de l'offre pour les fermiers. M. Blanchet n'a livré ni l'un ni l'autre de ses promesses. En fait, il n'a livré rien, sauf que les dépenses massives et le maintien au pouvoir du gouvernement le plus centralisateur dans l'histoire du pays. Un gouvernement qui a brisé notre système d'immigration, un gouvernement qui est mauvais pour le Québec. Maintenant, Justin Trudeau est dans une position de désespoir. Il veut sauver sa job. Ses députés veulent le congédier. Une ministre a dû démissionner à cause de la corruption. Les Canadiens veulent un nouveau gouvernement basé sur le gros bon sens parce qu'ils savent que M. Trudeau a brisé le pays après 9 ans. Donc, il va faire n'importe quoi pour sauver sa job. Aujourd'hui, c'est un autre tour de passe-passe de 2 mois avant que M. Trudeau et le Bloc imposent encore plus d'inflation, plus de taxes et plus d'impôts. Et encore, c'est seulement les conservateurs du gros bon sens qui offrent une alternative. Nous revendiquons l'élimination de la TPS sur les maisons de moins d'1 million de dollars pour économiser jusqu'à 50 000 $ pour l'achat d'une nouvelle maison. Nous proposons de couper taxes et impôts pour que le travail redevienne payant ici au Canada. Et nous proposons de payer pour ça en coupant la bureaucratie, les consultants, la corruption et le gaspillage. C'est ça un plan de gros bon sens. Et ce que nous proposons, c'est permanent. On veut éliminer le TPS pour les nouvelles maisons de façon permanente. On veut couper taxes et impôts de façon permanente. On veut plafonner les dépenses et couper la bureaucratie et le gaspillage de façon permanente pour augmenter le pouvoir d'achat et pour instaurer la promesse du Canada, un pays où travailler fort engendre un plus grand chèque de paie et pension, capable d'acheter de nourriture et de logements abordables dans des quartiers sécuritaires. C'est ça la promesse du Canada et c'est ce que nous allons ramener pour tous les Canadiens. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here. As you know, after 9 years of Justin Trudeau and the NDP Liberals, everything is broken. And let's face it, The NDP Liberal coalition is back together. They've doubled housing costs, doubled the debt, doubled food bank use, doubled gun crime. With Jagmeet and Justin, it is double trouble for Canadians. Everything is broken. Life costs more. In fact, food prices have risen 36% faster in Canada than in the United States, a gap that opened up after the application of the carbon tax on the farmers and truckers who bring us our food. Now we have 2 million people lined up at food banks. This week we learned there has been a record increase in child poverty over the last year, all while Trudeau and the NDP made grand promises about childcare. 400,000 kids are forced to eat at food banks. 1 in 4 kids are not getting enough food, according to the government's own data. In fact, scurvy is making a comeback. Housing costs have doubled. Rent has doubled, mortgage payments have doubled, down payments have all doubled. And Trudeau's Housing Accelerator Fund, by his own admission, has not built a single solitary new home. 1,400 homeless encampments are now scattered across Ontario, 35 of them in Halifax alone. Our economy is cratering. It's dropped in per capita terms more than any other G7 country. Our per capita GDP is smaller than it was 10 years ago, even though during the same time the American per capita GDP has grown by 18%. Median incomes in our two countries were equal 10 years ago. Now they're $22,000 American bigger south of the border, where $500 billion net of our investment has poured to build pipelines, factories, businesses, and pay American paychecks with Canadian investment dollars after 9 years of Trudeau and the NDP Liberal tax increases and inflationary deficits. And the worst is yet to come. Trudeau and the NDP have voted for and legislated the quadrupling of the carbon tax to 61 cents a litre, which will stop our trucks from delivering parts to factories, clothing to stores, food to grocery shelves. It will mean billions more will pour across the border into the United States, millions of jobs will be lost, and a big smile will appear on Donald Trump's face as he picks up the phone from the Oval Office to call Canadian factories, trucking companies, mines, to tell them to go south 100 kilometers where there is no carbon tax and other taxes are dropping. The only thing worse than President Trump's tariffs are Prime Minister Trudeau's taxes. It's clear why Trump wants to create American jobs. It's not clear why Justin Trudeau wants to help him do it. And what do we have today? Well, Jagmeet Singh has broken his word yet again. Remember, Jagmeet Singh said the deal was ripped up? Well, now he's taped it right back together. Despite all the poverty and misery and the record gap between rich and poor the NDP crows so much about, they're now keeping the government in power that did it. You know, he said that he would not support Justin Trudeau anymore, and now he's doing just that until at least his pension kicks in next February. Jagmeet Singh has sold out Canadians to sign on with Trudeau again. And today what we have is a 2-month temporary tax trick that will not make up for the permanent quadrupling carbon tax on heat, housing, food, and fuel, and all to save Justin's job and Jagmeet's pension. Ironically, in just a few months, Trudeau and the NDP plan to raise taxes on all the same items they claim they're giving you a break on, directly through the carbon tax. They'll be raising taxes on heat, on gas, on everything that comes in a truck. If you got it, a truck brought it, and it will be more expensive with this carbon tax. They even plan to jack up liquor taxes in April, while they claim to be taking them off for the next 2 months. That sounds like a trick. A trick. Are you fooled? You don't look like you're fooled. He can see the trick. Like even he's laughing. Nobody believes Justin Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh after they've impoverished our people and made life worse off. The good news is there will be a carbon tax election, and Canadians will choose between the costly NDP Liberal carbon tax coalition that tax your food, punish your work, double your housing cost, and unleash crime and chaos in your community, or common sense Conservatives who will axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime. But we have solutions, and we're offering them today. We're calling for an alternative, which is this: permanently axe the carbon tax. Permanently take the GST off new homes to save people up to $50,000 on a new home purchase and stimulate 30,000 extra home builds every single year. A permanent tax cut that will boost our economy. Cutting taxes on work, savings, investment, energy, and making stuff in Canada. In other words, let's bring home more paychecks and production to our country. More importantly, let's bring home Canada's promise. A very simple promise that brought us all here, and it is this: that hard work gets you a powerful paycheck and pension that buys affordable food, gas, and homes in safe neighborhoods, a country where anyone from anywhere can do anything, the freest country on earth. Let's bring it home.
Greenpeace était chez vous ce matin. Greenpeace était devant chez vous ce matin. Est-ce que vous avez quelque chose pour rassurer les écologistes en précisant quels seraient les objectifs climatiques du Canada sous un gouvernement Poilièvre?
Oui, absolument. Nous sommes le seul parti avec un plan environnemental, c'est-à-dire l'abondance énergétique. Il faut produire plus d'énergie hydroélectrique en accélérant les permis de construction. Il faut ramener la production des minéraux stratégiques ici au Canada au lieu de les importer de la Chine, là où ils brûlent le charbon. Il faut exporter notre gaz naturel pour remplacer le charbon et la production des pays de dictature. Et il faut utiliser les technologies et non pas les taxes afin de ramener les plus grands chèques de paix et un environnement très bien géré et protégé.
To be clear, you will vote against this, and if this is brought against us, you will vote against this measure if it's brought in the House of Commons?
We haven't seen the measure. We've seen his press releases. And if we believed NDP Liberal press releases, then we might have been tricked, as many in the media were, when they believed the rhetoric on the carbon tax. Remember, they said the carbon tax would make you better off. And here we are with the food professor showing that food prices have risen 37% faster in Canada than in the U.S., a gap that opened up as the tax started applying here on the farmers and truckers who bring us our food. And of course, then the parliamentary budget officer came out years after all of you wrongly reported and regurgitated Liberal talking points on the carbon tax. He came out and said, no, 100% of middle-class Canadians are worse off under the carbon tax, and 60% of all Canadians are worse off. So you're asking me if I'm going to vote for today's press release and press conference. I don't vote for press releases and press conferences. Canadians cannot eat press or live in press releases or press conferences. Let's see what they put before us. But I've got a better idea. Here's what I propose. When they come forward, put in the bill 2 ideas that will help forever. Axe the carbon tax, axe the GST on new homes.
Qu'est-ce que vous dites, M. Poilièvre? Qu'est-ce que vous dites aux députés conservateurs qui n'aiment pas votre contrôle sur le caucus?
Comme qui?
Bien, plusieurs députés conservateurs
Comme
qui se sont confiés.
Vous avez un nom?
Bien, ils se sont confiés sous le couvert de l'anonymat parce qu'ils ont peur des représailles, M. Poilièvre.
Je vous crois pas.
Vous pensez qu'ils nous ont menti?
Non, c'est pas eux qui mentent.
Mais pourquoi est-ce que vous avez dit vous ne croyez pas? Qu'est-ce que vous voulez dire?
Parce que 100% de nos députés veulent éliminer les programmes bureaucratiques qui ont empêché la construction des logements. Et ils sont 100% en faveur de mon plan d'éliminer la TPS sur les nouveaux logements, ce qui peut économiser jusqu'à 50 000 $ pour l'achat d'une belle maison. Ça, c'est le rêve de tous les Canadiens. Et 100% des députés conservateurs sont pour. Non, c'est ma réponse.
Vous ne laissez pas nous parler.
Oui, il vous parle.
Non, jamais.
Non, sur la voie de l'affaire, monsieur, sur l'annonce d'aujourd'hui.
What about the part of the checks that are going out to Canadians in the new year? You've said before that when the government prints money, it's inflationary. What do you think about those checks? Do you support the idea of directly returning money to Canadians?
Sorry, that was Justin Trudeau who said that. We put out the quote today, where he said,
You've said it too.
He said his spending. He said spending. He said his deficit spending contributes to inflation. Trudeau said every dollar he spends brings an extra dollar of inflation, and that's just a mathematical reality, right? If you have a fixed number of goods and services, and you increase the number of dollars, as Justin Trudeau's deficits have done, then all you do is bid up the cost of all the goods people buy, and that's why 25% of kids are in poverty, why record 2 million people are lined up at food banks, scurvy's making a comeback, housing costs have doubled. That's the misery that you get with massive socialist money printing, and what I'm proposing is a common sense alternative. Let's cap spending, cut waste, bring down deficits, interest rates, and inflation. And by the way, let's axe the carbon tax and axe the GST on new homes.
Trump's trade agenda. What exactly do you mean by that when you say you're going to fight fire with fire? Are you talking about tit-for-tat tariffs, or are you talking about something else?
Well, right now we have two leaders that want to charge Canadians more. You know, President Trump has proposed tariffs on Canadians. Justin Trudeau is proposing taxes on Canadians. It's clear why President Trump wants to create jobs for Americans. It's not clear why Justin Trudeau is so determined to help him do it. Trudeau's capital gains tax hike is going to kill 60,000 Canadian jobs. Blocking energy and resource projects is going to send more production south of the border, as it already has. In the first 14 years of this decade, of this century, we had more American investment in Canada. In the last 9 years, $500 billion Canadian dollars have left for the U.S. more than have come back. That's Canadian investment dollars creating American jobs. My approach will be this. We will cut taxes on work, investment, energy, and making stuff in Canada. We will greenlight massive resource projects to bring home production, and we will fight for an end to the softwood lumber tariffs and the discriminatory Buy America rules that Justin Trudeau capitulated on and let the Americans, our American friends, keep in place. We're going to have a prime minister who will stand up for our people again, and won't that be refreshing?